Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we both been playing Subnautica Below Zero. Would you like to
Mhm.
start talking about that?
Sure. I've just got the sea truck, and the high capacity tank, but I haven't gotten the ultra yet. So I just started going to the twisty forest, kind of getting into the geysers. I got to the island, with
Nice.
the radio tower. And so I've been having a lot of fun. It's definitely more compact. Like the biomes are a lot closer than they seem at first. Um, I understand that there's like a big land part now too, because like I got one piece to like Arctic Fox, and it was clearly like a land vehicle or something. So it seems like there's a lot of land to explore, which will be interesting. Um, and yeah, I'm loving it. Like the music's still great, the atmosphere is still great. Maybe even better in some ways. Uh, I don't know. I will say so far though the enemies seem a little less intimidating, a little less scary than in the previous one. I think maybe it's because I've been used to them, but I feel like it's kind of that Dark Souls thing where you can just swim in circles around them infinitely until they give up, and all their like attacks and stuff are fairly predictable to see coming. You know, they're pretty telegraphed. But overall, yeah, I'm just definitely loving the experience. Haven't hit any roadblocks to enjoying it. You know, the progression feels good. The sense of discovery is there. Like, and also too, like with the design of this one, it almost leads you towards the areas that it wants you to go better. Like, um, potential spoilers, but you find this like artifact cave fairly early on, and you kind of see these pillars with blinking lights. And you're like, oh, what's that? Swim, swim, swim. And it's like, oh, there's more over here. And so it does a good job of, without telling you where to go, without having little map markers, intuitively showing you the direction to take, with the environmental detail.
Yeah, it's I was actually pretty impressed with that myself, the way the developers handled that, and just that kind of magic hand, that guiding hand that the developers
Yeah.
sometimes have, where a lot of times it's not that secretive. Like, that's one thing I don't like about a lot of games, where it's like, okay, this is super linear, this is exactly the route that I'm supposed to be on. But in Subnautica Below Zero, and the first one as well, you know, it just kind of feels like you're alone and there's no developer guiding you. But really, there is a developer secretly kind of guiding
Invisible
you.
hand.
Yeah, the invisible hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call that the stranger.
Oh. Yeah, so I have almost 20 hours in to Subnautica Below Zero. At about 2.5 hours, I consciously was mindful of my different milestones. So 2.5 hours in, and I had a base that I'm still using 20 hours into the game. So it took me only about 2.5 hours to get all the materials and all that stuff to make a mid-game base. And it's been good sized and everything. At about 10 hours in...
Would you start with the base? Sorry, I cut your flow, but would you start with base-wise?
Just one of those cylindrical, a couple of those cylindrical...
Multi-purpose room?
A multi-purpose room with a scanner and a control room attached to it. And I think I had a couple other rooms for my very first base next to the drop pod. That was my very first base.
Yeah, that's where mine is, yeah.
Yeah, and then my second...
Oh,
go ahead.
I found a large guy, so I put down a large one. Well, I had like the multi-purpose room, and I made a tiny one. And then I found the large component guy, so I just slapped that down, and then I put a monsoon room. And I had that before I found the sea truck or the vehicular module to build it. So like it was like, I don't know if I found them in the right order or not, but
there's no right order, I don't think. It's just,
well,
yeah, as you stumble across stuff, and it's gonna be different for everybody. You know, I think I found the sea truck. Well, no, I did find the large compartment first, before I found all the sea truck fragments. But then the second base, the one that I had built 2.5 hours in, it was two large rooms sat side by side, with a moon pool, a scanner room, a control room, and I think that's about it. And that's lasted me 20 hours into the game. And then about 10 hours in, I had all the pieces to make the prawn suit. And once you get the prawn suit, it becomes much more easy to dive deeper down. The mod for the diving down deeper that you can put into the prawn suit, it's cheaper to build than the mods for the sea truck. But just recently, 20 hours in, I've got the sea truck is a modular system where you've got these different compartments that you can build and attach to the back of the sea truck.
Yeah, like aquarium,
fabricator, storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided that the fabricator and the aquarium weren't important enough to put on my truck. I've got 2 storage rooms, a sleeper, which is like a bedroom, and in the very back I've got a compartment that I can attach my prawn suit onto. So now I can drive around the map in a mobile base pretty much. Which is super nice. And if nighttime falls, I can just go into my sleeper room, sleep, and get the nighttime out of the way. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So it's I'm having a lot of fun with it. I would give it at this point an 8 out of 10. Like you were saying, it'd be nice if there were enemies that were more formidable and more scary. It just kind of seems a little easy at this point to not die.
I haven't seen Leviathans yet though, so
I have, and they're not as scary as the one from the first game.
Okay.
Not even close, I would say. But yeah, 8 out of 10. It's gotten really good reviews online as well. Let's see here, 9 out of 10 on Steam. 97% of Google users like it. So.
Yeah, I like the NPC so far, the one I've met. That's really cool to actually see other people. It definitely helps the loneliness of those type of games, I think.
Yes.
Which, a lot of it, that's part of the atmosphere they're trying to create, is this kind of lonely sense of self-determination. But, I don't know, I think that helps a lot, knowing that you're not alone in this entire world. There are other people out there surviving as well.